Hang on, hang on. Yeah. Oh, wait. Ah, welcome. What's the deal? Oh, okay. I didn't think that was going to be a thing.
This is the story of a man. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door? This one looks like a safe.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, shit.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. Okay. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Hey, what if I go in?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parables. Where will I be the boy? There's no one else here. Oh, there's. It's like real? Oh, everyone's like, oh, these are like Steve people, I feel like. Okay. You know the question mark on Steve? Am I supposed to Stanley? This is you, Steve? This is not real. Wow, okay. Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
To be honest, I do too. Improving.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and
Let's
now
see.
would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
mind.
Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Yeah,
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha!
Is this Firewatch?
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
It's Firewatch, I think.
Well, it seems
I've
obvious
played
to
it,
me
but
that you are
I've
meant
seen
to
it.
play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below
But that's
you
what
from
he
up
does?
high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Change the graphics and everything. This has to be Firewatch.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around
there's
in.
no ball.
There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Well, can I have a ball?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Well, I need a ball.
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
It's so big. Pause. Hold on.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More
Hello?
balls? What are you doing?
Whoa, whoa.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
I didn't mean to.
How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, just move. Do I just keep falling? Oh. Oh, it's back here too.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
Yeah,
That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. It's gonna be dark.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The rating system?
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So let me do this as well.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
No, blue.
Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from?
I know, right? Where can they come from?
I know the game needed a third door. Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came
He loves dick
from,
riding
except
himself.
that
I'm not gonna lie.
I
I'm
felt
not
it in
gonna
my
lie.
soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
See? He's talking about don't even try. Like,
Here,
it's told him more
based
like
on
I
the
did
data
before.
from
It's
your
like,
previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
so he had the same. He had the same shit. What are we doing?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's
No, his
effective?
baby's like
Be
black.
sure to keep
I would.
notes
There's no
on
Black
your
History Month right now.
experience.
There's not Black History Month. Oh, and he the crying. Ah, yeah, you're burning. You're burning. Burn.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
I'd say
Because if
both.
it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
That's the new Rocket League.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
That's the Minecraft sound. What is it? I mean, when they open doors, it's like an oak door or something like that. What it sounds like. Anyways.
Oh no, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh, some bowls.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack.
Get crushed by the ball.
Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is
Probably not
this
the
game
because it bounces.
sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall
Cool, 'cause
run
this
the
yellow
bases
ball,
and do a
I went there
touchdown
last time.
together.
It threw me off.
Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh. Okay.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Look.
I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Well, I still only have the one.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Oh, come on. I don't know if it makes different.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you'd like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
I guess I have to go down the thing. Let's waste some time. Yes. See, you guys want controller now? Okay.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap
Really?
everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The blue door. I think
Stanley
that
felt
off. I need to go to
lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy but eager to get back
This nigga needs to be canceled. That's why nobody watched that original
to business.
show.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
And Steve Carell's better, and this nigga's really not even.
Probably. My lawyers helped me with the wording of that joke.
Ricky set the tone for the night that 2011 would be.
Stanley was so
years
bad
in
at following
2010,
directions, it's
immediately
incredible he
attacked
wasn't
Roman
5 years ago.
Specifically, The Tourist, which was a 2010 film.
Look, Stanley, I think
Depp,
perhaps we've gotten off on the
that
wrong
was
foot
nominated
here.
for Best Motion
I'm not your
Picture.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Don't I need to hear your thoughts on this?
Yeah, propaganda. A bit more sense. The Hollywood Foreign Press is a voting body of about 90 journalists that
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
gets nominated and wins the trophy.
I
To
still
get
don't
into the
think we're
HFPA,
communicating
was right
properly.
for a foreign
Stanley
education,
walked
live in
through
Los
the...
Angeles.
Oh, thank
It's
God
absurd
you
that
are
members
willing to
of the
listen to me.
HFPA
Do
like
you
to
see
use
that
their
I really
status to
have
influence
wanted you to be
celebrities?
happy all this
It's like if I had a
time?
real
The problem
goal
is all these
for
choices.
Grammy and
The
I
two of
started
us always
hitting up
trying to get
rappers at
somewhere
dinner.
that isn't here.
They might
Running
entertain it
and
because
running and running,
theoretically
just
I
the way
could
you're
help
doing
them
right
win.
now.
So
Don't you
you'll
see that
notice
it's
Ricky
killing us,
often
Stanley?
says the Hollywood Foreign Press is
I wanted
corrupt.
to stop.
It must be
I
good,
would...
'cause
We
it's
would both
nominated,
be
so
so
shut
much
up.
happier if we
Okay.
just stopped.
I'd like to
And I
brag
think,
about that, though.
well, I think I
There's
have a
ridiculous
solution.
rumour
Here,
going round
let
that
me
the
show
only reason
you.
The Tourist was nominated was so the Hollywood Foreign Press could hang out with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. That is rubbish. That is not the only reason. They also accepted bribes. Let's.
Ricky also had to take more shots at Mel Gibson.
Our first presenter is beautiful.
What do we
talented,
want?
and
What are we
Jewish.
looking for?
Mel Gibson told me that. He's obsessed.
And of course, he had to dig into Steve Carell some more.
He was a jobbing actor, career not going that well if I'm being totally honest, who took his big break when I cast him in a
Oh,
remake
it's
of a
beautiful,
show that
isn't
I
it?
created
If we just stay
called The
right here,
Office.
right in this
He's now
moment
leading
with
that
this
show
place,
and getting a
Stanley,
Oscar for both
I
of
think
us.
I
Please
feel
welcome the wonderful Tina
happy.
Fey and the underrated
I
Steve
actually
Carell.
feel happy.
It's important to know that Ricky doesn't actually have hard feelings for Steve. They are both in on the joke and love to play up the bit.
It's funny, he always makes fun of me, always. And he's also, you know, in a personal way, very, very sweet to me. Like, before one of these award shows, he pulled me aside and said, hey, I've got a few things that I wanted to go after you with. Is that okay? I'm like, of course. So there is a side, there is a gentler side to him that people don't necessarily see.
He's such a lovely man.
But he thinks you're sweet because, just to clarify, you go up to him before an award ceremony and say, I'm going to call you a prick in a minute, just to warn you.
That's all I wanted to say. You know, if I had access to them, I'd warn everyone.
Some people just don't like the idea of a person being the butt of someone's joke, so they definitely wouldn't like this stray that Sandra Bullock caught at the end of the night.
The next presenter is a national treasure, Miss Congeniality herself.
I love that movie.
This down-to-earth girl next door first stole our hearts as a bus driver and then as a railway fare collector. Now, of course, she wouldn't be seen dead on public transport because as she just said to me backstage, poor people are gross and they smell bad. Please welcome Sandra Bullock.
Surely, after these attacks, he wouldn't be brought back to host the 2012 Olympics. After all, the Hollywood Foreign Press did not want him back, with one member stating, my worry was that he was insulting. And when
No,
I invite
wait.
someone to my
Where are you
house,
going?
they don't insult me, but This is show business. I guess I'm old-fashioned, but NBC was
Right.
strongly in favor of
Where
Jerry's
were
returning
we?
because the ratings were just as good as they were last year. With 17 million live viewers for the entire show, so they decided to bring him back for a third year. He was as unhinged as ever, opening with lines that proved he could care less about this special.
He's going to come up here and personally feel. So that's not what I could refuse. Yes, that's the level. An old man pulling me up.
And then again insinuated that this award show
Oh
was
no.
corrupt.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
For fear of being made fun of.
Actually,
As if film stars to stay away from the chance of winning a Golden Globe.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Everyone is clapping and laughing because they
Please,
know it's true.
Stanley, think about what you're
Continued
doing.
to just minimize and bash the award show every which way he could.
All female remakes, the big thing. There's a female remake of Ghostbusters. There's going to be a female remake of Ocean's 11. And this is brilliant for the studios because they get guaranteed box office results and they don't have to spend too much money on the cast. So, shut up, I don't care. If you do win tonight, remember that no one cares about that award as much as you do, okay?
No!
oh, you got killed already.
It's
Thank
embarrassing.
God. You lived. You had me worried there. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I
Take
can't
it
go
away?
back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
So they could meet you and have a selfie with you.
Honestly, there is nothing more I can say to add to this.
Eva Longoria and America Ferrera aren't just beautiful, talented actresses.
Stanley,
They're
let's go
also
back
two
to the other
people
room.
who your
Can you do
future
that
president,
for me?
Donald Trump, can't wait to deport.
But I'm sure you can tell the energy of this show feels different than previous years. The first 3 shows he hosted, he was more playful, often chuckling to himself devilishly. But this show, he seems more fed up and actually just trying to be blunt.
I think he's actually trying to see, like, how far he can go.
My God.
Really
Is
make
this
them
really
not
how much you dislike my game?
This show
That you'll
is
throw
way
yourself
too
from this
complex.
platform
It's
over and
way
over to
too-
be rid
this
of
could
it?
be half
You are
an
literally
hour.
willing to kill yourself to
Okay.
keep me from being happy.
That's so hard. He's
Am I
such a
reading the
gaslighter.
situation correctly?
He's a gaslighter. Oh my gosh.
Some people
I'm
still
not gonna
think
do
this
this.
award
I'm
means
gonna do
something. The winners, just listen to me. Listen. It doesn't just. Right. When Brad and Angelina see our next 2 adorable little presenters, they're going to want to adopt them. Please welcome Kevin Hart and Ken Jarvis.
And for some reason, the producers decided it would be a good idea for Ricky to introduce Mel Gibson, who he had previously attacked multiple
Yes.
times.
Perhaps
This
you
time
can.
would be no different.
Perhaps you
Listen,
finally see what I'm
sure it's
talking
embarrassing
about.
for both of us, okay? And I blame NBC for this terrible situation. Mal blames. We know who Mal blames. Mel's forgotten all about it, apparently. That's what drinking does. No. I want to say something nice about Mal before he comes out. Oh yeah, okay, here you go. I'd rather have a drink with him in his hotel room tonight than with Bill Cosby. He's Mal. Mel Gibson.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
I think I think he's a bad
Looks like
bitch,
I wanted
sorry.
to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
People were shocked. Ricky was shocked. And if we thought his 2016 show was direct and less playful, 2020 felt like he did not tell one joke, or rather just
Is it
statements of
over?
how much he hates
It's
Hollywood.
going to restart,
You'll be
isn't it?
pleased to know this
I'm
is the
going
last
back.
time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly don't care either this time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello. Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English.
He immediately set the stage that he would go out with a bang, and timbers were shivered.
People from
He's just cool.
But they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look. He's coming for you. He's coming. Talking of all you...
I don't know about my food. Nice.
Howdy.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Why'd you ask me? Yeah, right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
How's it
and Stanley
going?
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
Pretty
admire
slow.
it.
Pretty well. Oh, cool. It's a chat and stuff.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
But you see there's a big red button here. I'm pressing it.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
You don't know that it's left.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
No, it's actually
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Hold on.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
What is this game?
It's some Stanley's parable. I kind of like don't know how to explain it. But he's like a guy. He just wakes up. And he's like mouth's working. And I don't know. You're supposed to follow this guy's instructions.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
fired.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
So originally, we wake up here. It's the person. He's here every single day. All that, start moving.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What are you gonna do in the game if you just need to follow the instructions?
When Stanley...
You don't follow the instructions, it leads you to like a different path.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over.
Now there's like
fresh.
15 doors instead of like the regular 2 doors.
Did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
It's not a maze with that. I can't jump either, so. Crouch.
He's also telling you which door to choose.
Yeah, but like now he just said choose your door. Find it. Which door should I choose though? I got 5 options. These two here.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, because we need to reset. I didn't even get to explore anything.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yeah,
now there's nothing.
It's worse.
What?
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
It's dirty.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
Me too.
Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Doors are working. Excuse you.
And this was not one of those situations.
I don't know.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
He's all about restarting. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, see, it's different.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no
testing the patience.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the
game again and again?
nature of life itself? Whoa.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I'm scared now. Go on.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Seeing it? Seeing it?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
It's closed. Okay, that's dude. Flip. Oh, back here again, no.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
It's actually
Restart.
Oh, it's stacked. I feel like not. Restarting again. The line is still there.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Not
We're
again.
intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
I feel like that's kind of like the whole
This all
premise
sounds
of the game.
perfectly doable.
Just like
Why
restart
don't
you
we
a lot?
simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How
Can you
about
do something?
this direction?
What direction? Oh, okay. See, like, he's always opening new doors.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new
So I'm going
path,
the
a
actual,
new
like,
story. Well, it
original
could be
plan
anything.
that he
What do
wants
you
you
want
to.
our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Nice.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Well, I only have one way to go. So. Okay, let's go.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From
A
here, the
circular
story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay, why not the left one then? Okay. The confusion ending?
Hold up, what's this?
Oh.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again.
I died?
Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
I'm playing this for
What if
18
I don't
minutes?
want to forget?
At least the confusion ending.
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this
And as you can see,
thing,
the doors lead to the same
wall.
place.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really?
Again, 50 start.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the time return stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Well, he's probably going to restart, right?
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, yeah,
I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
See? New content. Look at it.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Sure. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I wonder if I didn't step into that door, what would happen?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I'm choking on spit. I can jump now. I had to think my words for a second. Let's go. Let's go. Wait, can I jump in here? Oh, no, I couldn't jump in here. I'm not jumping. Something else here.
Is that it?
Wait, hold on.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Oh. I'm out of jumps.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Hey, it's actually your game?
Elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there
just
had to be
as
something
skeptical.
else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
You should know what it is. You're the narrator. Thank you for enjoying the
That's
new
it?
content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Yeah.
What do you say, friend?
I guess. I have no choice. Oh.
Psst. Stanley!
Oh,
Come over
actually
here.
kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie,
In
bro.
the vent.
You're the
I want
narrator,
to show
bro.
you something.
Hold on. I'm gonna sorry, quick. I'll go to the phone, I guess. You can crouch. Just use the button you use. Think he's a real person? Like, anyways.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Boy, is this like Elden Ring or something? Not Elden Ring, but quite good. But
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity.
That is true.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste. And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk.
Watch me send me again.
A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Is that it? Oh, there's more. Dude. Wait, should I go down here? Should I go up?
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Okay. Wow, 3 is the serious room. I want to be serious. Oh. Be serious.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Game is this? This is a clearly different game, I feel like.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games.
I think it's
I haven't looked at these in years.
Okay.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Oh, wait. Pressurized Gas, Steam? Okay, I got it. It is.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
I'm trying to
make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that
Here's
I
my first time playing
imagine where I'd have the room to
so I'm
stick
just
them.
doing choices. So I've never seen this. There's a lot of Steam reviews here. I wonder if the green one is good. Actually, we can see. What's the thing? Open. Can't read those. I can't answer. Nice. Don't know.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
While
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. but maybe it wasn't. Dear.
See, that's the thing about
What
negativity,
an
you know?
awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
You see,
like I let these
because you
people
focus
down.
on the two negative
Stanley
reviews.
Parable
With such
isn't quite
great
as
other
sterling as I
great
always
reviews.
remembered.
But no, focus on the one little negative. Shouldn't be doing that. I'm playing the game. That's something. I will look at one more bad review.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Watch him give me a skip button, because he's
a skip
set in
button.
mode.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
Oh, he's actually doing
the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years. Until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet noon. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victim. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation.
So you always stream this type of games?
Or perhaps
really, no.
they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not
maybe like a choice-based game, because this is kind of choice-based.
Look,
Like, you know,
I
the
would
ones
even
like
be okay with pressurized
Man
gas
of
altering this particular
Medan
review so that it reads as
next,
something more beneficial.
with the
Something
fine
along
line.
the lines of, this game is the best
This is like a solo
game.
thing. I would
Let
play
me
games, but I'm
start
just trying to play
over.
anything really.
How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
I'll maybe start
Okay,
saying
welcome back,
skip.
Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
See, he noticed it too.
Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
Yes.
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay, while we're waiting, right? Because I'm not going to wait for that long. Thank you for, like, coming in and checking me out. Now I'm going to press the skip button because I know he's not coming back. Right? I'm gonna give him 10 seconds.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
And you didn't find
You've
the door.
just been frozen there.
And
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
Shush.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
this is dead.
I think it's been a week.
This is making me sick.
I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
I'm sorry I can't stay here anymore.
Would you
That's crazy. It's probably all the changing in colors and stuff.
Same as always? Doesn't that feel
Thank
like
you for
what
coming.
we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because
There also
I
is
know
motion
you
blur, too.
can't hear me once you push that
Try
button.
turning off earlier.
That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground.
Alright, the person. I don't know what he's talking about. Still doing this and that. There's still no door.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the... deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was
since it's been a week, you say you should find the door the first day. I think he just wants to talk.
For what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation.
It's quiet. That's loud. It's so loud. Why is it so loud? I think it's that red thing over there, isn't it? It has to be. Oh. It's like super loud. Stop that.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands.
Still thinking about the negative.
He's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us. Now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency. It's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. as though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature
go
and
outside,
find the resounding emptiness gazing back with
and be
unyielding
happy.
aggression.
I don't think it has to be so
Because of
negative.
this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable...
Clock, bro. How you doing this?
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never
The end
the
is loading.
end, is never the 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 end, is never the
Why is it wet right here? Oh. Ew. Ew. Oh. The water did that? Water damage of doom. Oh. Oh. Sunlight or something. And there's still no door. How nice. Oh, stuff had to grow? That's nice. I see trees out there. Nice. One more time. And everything is now dead. Hello? What happened? More dirt came. I almost have to grow again. What happened? Okay, why is this? Why is that kind of scary? It's like eerie. The button fell. What? Or did I fall? Oh, that's probably wow. The room kind of fell. I think bum. Okay, should I skip again? Or okay, I'm gonna see if it first. It's like a beach kind of thing. Oh, what is a beach? No, it's just sand. Just keep walking or what? Oh, it's black now. Watch it, let me again. We're back. I don't even know how I got
Stanley
to that
decided to
whole
go to the
situation.
meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying.
Now it's just new content. So should I go here or should I keep, I think we'll go here.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Oh, it's your sign.
I have something very exciting to show you.
See it. Let's see it. Oh, it's low. That was new. Wait.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
I sound kind of scary though. Like either the
Yes,
low
you
tone.
see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
That part one?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is
How'd you
going
make
to
it
be,
again?
but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Where's the button?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
It's cool.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all... Jim! Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
It's got Jim. I'm not Jim. I'm me.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Dude, I'm looking so tired. Oh my gosh. What else I got there?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the stand. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Free trophy. Free, new and easy trophy.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Wow.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
I think so. Can you get off? More jumps?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Merch.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Whoops.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, with the bucket, getting off, tired, got class soon. Go take a shower.